This PYFL All-Star Game is brought to you by Pro Athletics, made in the USA, custom sublimated uniforms and apparel. On the web at proathletics.com. Postnet in Moorpark. Create, duplicate, deliver. On the web at postnet.com. Dana O Photography. On the web at danao.com. Westco International Consulting of Ventura. On the web at westcointl.com. Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks. On the web at sportsacademy.us. American Trophies and Awards of Simi Valley. On the web at americantrophy.securedwebpages.net. Lucky Fool's Pub on High Street in Moorpark. And by Hard Luck Kings Guitars and Apparel of Westlake Village. On the web at hardluckkings.com. And now, back to the action. Well, you know what? We'll take this time to introduce you to the PYFL Executive Board. The president on an interim basis is Shane Kimbrough. The vice president is Tony Godinez. The treasurer, Nicole Ransom. Secretary, Nancy Anguiano. Athletic director is Dominic Walker. The insurance commissioner is Amanda Villanueva. Members at large, Isaac Reyes, who is our direct report here. Nick Olmonde and Joey Villalta. So thank you to all of you who oversee the Moorpark chapter and also the PYFL. This is a marvelous event, and we're getting ready to start the second quarter. So we have the strange confluence of the second quarter starting with a kickoff, and it's another onside kick. The East puts it on the ground, and the West has the ball, but not any longer. They may have given it up. So the West gives it back, and the East has a chance to add to their lead. That is a killer. You get down 6-0, you start thinking about what are we going to do on offense, and then problems arise on the kickoff.
Well, and the funny thing is, and we talked about this earlier in the earlier games, which is, you know, do you kick off, onside kick, you know, every single time to get the ball back? And I think as you get older with the older kids, that's a good strategy. But you want to get your teams, you know, opportunity to play on defense and offense. But obviously, the East is looking to win.
We'll stay on the ground here. And 33 is Jalen Burton. Jalen Burt, huge chunks of yardage. About a 20-yard pickup for Jalen Burt there on first down. And so the East moves the chains. They've got a 1st and 10 at the West 39.
I love it right now at quarterback. Who do we have playing quarterback right now?
Looks like Roy Brown is running back. This could be a wildcat kind of formation. Brown's going to take it, fake the handoff, call his own number, stay on the ground, around end, and out of bounds. So about 5 yards on first down for Roy Brown out of the wildcat.
Jaden Few, 87, Jaden Few out of the Ventura Packers, pushing him out of bounds, bringing up a 2nd and 5, it looks like.
All right, so now back to the more traditional formation with Jackson Presley at quarterback. He's got Jalen Burt to his left. Burt's going to stay home and block, and Presley's going to hang up a home run ball. That one is going to fall harmlessly to the turf, and it brings up a 2nd and 10.
I like this Jackson Presley kid. He throws a good ball. He's a tall kid. I was out there earlier. He's going to grow. He has a really good chance. Interesting to see right now. You're facing a 3-deep zone coming from the East, or the West, I should say, which is a quarterback's dream. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down.
So Presley's still in the gun. He's going to hand to Burt. And Burt slammed to the turf after about a 3-yard gain. Uzziah Avila and the Santa Paula Cardinals.
And Trent Payne, number 90, in on the tackle. You know, we always love, you know, talking about Lucas Viviano, Anthony Navarro, Trent Payne, the House of Payne.
And we want to highlight as many kids as possible. That's Caleb Yang, who had the first touchdown, and you're seeing more speed from him as he tiptoes the far sidelines. The guys in the striped shirt say, sorry, son, you're out of bounds at about the 10. But Caleb Yang, a big burst and giving his guys a first down on 4th down. Big time run by Yang.
Looks like they're bringing it back.
We have more laundry on the field.
Where's the laundry? Oh, there it is.
And we'll wait for the call.
No wonder he was able to get around the corner.
Yeah, usually if the penalty is what makes a big play happen, I understand why the penalty's called. When it's away from the play, that's another thing entirely.
Yeah, my biggest complaint, and I asked Mike Tomlin, how does he maintain his rationality on the sideline when it's 3rd and 20 and they throw the ball down the field on the left side and it's incomplete, but wait, there's a flag on the right side, illegal hands to the face, 5 yards, automatic first down.
And they can't pick that one up like they can a PI.
Got to come back.
We're going to throw here, and it's picked off. That's Julian Ayala from the North Oxnard Warriors, still on his feet. There's a flag on the play. He's out of bounds. The flag is after the change of possession, so it looks like the West will retain the ball. And now it's just a question of field position.
Yeah, mistake. Didn't step into the throw. I'm pretty sure Jackson Presley would like to have that one back.
And as we suspected, the flag is after the pick. So the West gets the ball, but they'll be pushed back a bit. So 10:18 left before halftime. The East leads the West 6-0 in the PYFL Junior All-Star Game. I'm Jake Downey, joined by NFL 11-year veteran Toy Cook. Thanks for being with us.
Always happy to be here with Jake Downey of jdmedia.com, producing this game and available for your next event, jdmediagroup.com.
Well, if you're going to give me a plug, you got to get it right.
jdmediagroup.com. Check out our website at jdmediagroup.com.
With global and intergalactic headquarters in my garage.
And it is, first of all, you are global, and it is intergalactic in your garage. It's a very nice garage.
Yeah,
in a very nice neighborhood.
We've been getting some nice viewer mail from Mars.
Which I love the connection of I was number 44 at Stanford in my college careers.
Isn't that awesome?
Which your dad was number 44.
My dad played at Stanford. Well, he would have been 49 to 53 on the football team, but got so badly injured that he only lasted a couple years there. But I have a photo of him. He's been gone about 10 years, so the photo is really cool of him wearing 44 on the Stanford freshman team in 49. So to know that you had that number 2 is just a little slice of awesome. And as we're saying this, who's got the ball? Number 44 for the West. Cohen Glover. So
how about that?
I've got tears in my eyes. That's awesome. 44 on the field, 44 here in the booth, and 44 for my dearly departed old man.
Up in heaven. It's a beautiful thing.
That's a great number. Hank Aaron wore 44.
There's a lot of good 44s. It's a special number for special people.
Yep. Now you got me thinking about a bunch of 44s. Remember Chuck Foreman of the Vikings?
Yes. Wow.
We're going to stay on the ground.
Going to hold that ball tight. He's kind of carrying it.
And that's 44 again, Cohen Glover.
Cohen Glover.
Folks, we didn't script this.
We did not. We did not script this. Right? I was just about to say 55, 44, those are good numbers. Typically when you get that number, you're a baller. And Cohen Glover is showing why he's deservedly so.
Cohen Glover of the North Oxnard Warriors. Cohen, thanks for wearing 44 and for getting the call right when we were on this topic. So back to reality. We'll stay in the gun. The fake handoff to Glover. They're going to stay on the ground and nothing doing there. Jackson Taylor driven down after about a 2-yard loss.
Looks like Elias Holloway, DB from Santa Clara Warriors, was in on it. And was that Matthew Jamizian?
Well, we see a 35 out on the field, but we don't really have a roster name and number for a 35.
We do not have a name or roster number for 35.
So if anybody can tell us who 35 in the dark jersey is, we'd love to hear from you.
Who is 35?
All right, so about 2nd and 12 near midfield. The West in the gun. Motion from Mendez.
Wow.
And nothing doing there.
Where's that whistle?
The ball again goes to Glover.
David Aragon, outside linebacker from Highland Bulldogs, in on the tackle. We need Nate Watzka. Where is Nate Watzka, our intrepid reporter on the sideline, to find out who number 35 is?
Nate may be making a food run over to the neighboring store.
Oh, he's actually our other sponsor, Starbucks. Unofficial. The food of champions, the drink of champions.
Yeah, my second home. All right, back to football, 3rd and 13. We're going to have a rare snap under center here. Taylor had typically been in the gun, but we get a timeout from the West, and so we're going to talk about it. Let's go through some sponsors while we've got a break. We mentioned JD Media Group producing this game and available for your next event at jdmediagroup.com. Sports Source 2 in Studio City, your source for cards, photos, and other memorabilia. They provided the football cards that we gave the kids today. Pro Athletics, uniforms and apparel at proathletics.com. They provided the jerseys today, and that's the firm of Isaac Reyes, who is the guy we talked to about this event as we prepare. Lucky Fool's Pub in Moorpark. You watch the game with good food and nice people. Check out Lucky Fool's Pub. Stabin Construction. It's a local construction firm, grading, excavating, dirt import, and export. Thank you to Stabin Construction. And Adventus Health here in Moorpark, an urgent care facility. I can vouch for urgent care as it's something that my wife and kids have availed themselves of through the years.
That's always good.
Not that you want anyone to be sick, but you're glad it's there when you need it.
When you need it. Doctors and lawyers, we need them.
Yeah.
Can't live without them.
So 3rd and 13, we're going to go back to the shotgun. We're going to pass. 15 is Stevie Amar Jr., and nothing doing there.
As you can see right there, he's like, can you please throw the ball into my chest so I can have an opportunity to run this rock. If they can get the ball into Isaiah Dillon's hand, I think good things are going to happen, and that would be my focus right now. And the funny thing is you know, Simon Mata is a wide receiver, so I'm pretty sure he has some plays scripted to try to get the ball in hand. But, you know, you got a nice little matchup at the corner position too.
All right, so Taylor is going to be in the gun, barking orders, formation shifting. Glover comes out of the game.
Wow, that could have been a legal substitution in the pros.
And we're going to throw deep downfield. Who's got it?
What'd I tell you?
We have a completion.
What'd I tell you?
That's Isaiah Dillon turning on the Jets
what
and
did I
getting
say?
in the end zone. Wow. Big time play. Oh, my goodness. Isaiah Dillon would have been spectacular just to make that catch. And then he has the presence of mind to come down and say, hey, I got some extra work to do. And he just outruns every guy to the pylon and ties this game at lucky sixes.
Mama, there goes that man. You know, when you've seen as much football as we've seen, you can typically tell when you look at a kid that you know he's the guy, right? And as I said just prior to, can we get the ball to Dillon and see what he can do, because I think he's going to do some special things. And you saw it right there in real time.
And another candidate for offensive MVP from the west side.
Yes, put his name down. Nice throw, too.
So Taylor is under center, and he's going to hand off. And that's Cohen Glover getting over the goal line, bulls his way in, and gives his guys the lead. How this game changes on a 4th and forever play. Bombs away downfield. Nice catch, spectacular run, and suddenly this game is flipped. The West, with 6:38 left before halftime, leads it 8-6. And we're going to stay on the ground, but that onside kick is nowhere near 10 yards, but it is a live ball. So
and that's where they get it.
And so that may be the first onside kick I've seen go backwards. I applaud the effort, but perhaps not the execution.
Yeah. Sometimes, it's understandable what you're trying to do. But I think you can just kick the ball straight ahead, hard line drive, and have just as good a chance. But, look, they feel comfortable with their defense. But, like I said, Caleb Yang and this offense and Jackson Presley, it's a lot to handle. But does it matter if they're at the 20 or right here? It's not like you have to worry about giving up a field goal.
Yeah, you still got to execute. So Roy Brown is going to take the snap again in the shotgun formation. Brown, a tailback out of the West Lancaster Eagles chapter. This time he hands off.
Ooh, nice. The big guy's getting involved.
So that was 33, Jalen Burt from West Lancaster as well.
And it looked like Brandon Magana from Santa Paula Cardinals getting in on that. Say, there you go. Clogging the hole. It all starts up front. And that's one of the things about these all-star games. You get, especially as they get older, the kids get bigger, and you really start to see the dominance.
All right, so Presley back in, and he's directing the offense. He's got Brown behind him, and we've got motion. Presley's going to throw backwards, and that's Nathan Moreno. Moreno with positive yards. Picks up about 7 down to the 32.
Yeah, and Joseph Munoz out of North Oxnard Warriors in on that tackle. Omar Alatorre over there too. You know what I love about the PYFL? I mean, probably 2 of the hotbeds, Oxnard and Santa Clarita, in terms of the athletes that are out here.
And both well represented. So Presley's going to throw backwards again. And that's Brown again, and showing his escapability, but finally too many white shirts are on him. And that's going to bring up about a 4th and 7.
Yeah, I couldn't see who's that on the tackle because like his jersey, is that Joseph? Oh, I think it's Joseph Munoz. Joseph Munoz, right? Seems like once he gets his hands on you, you are not breaking away, like the long arm of the law.
All right, so 4th down, got to convert it. You give the ball back.
Screen.
And it looks like he had the first down,
he
ran backwards. He stayed on his feet, made enough magic happen that he gets past the sticks and keeps possession for his guys. Amari Smith moves the chains.
He did have it and then gave it back and then got it back again.
So a big-time play by Jamari Smith as we wind the clock, 3:40 left before halftime. And the East on the march trying to regain the lead.
And here he is, Nate Watska.
Pleased to have Nate alongside our crew. Our sideline reporter, he'll be doing color commentary in game number 4. And that ball airmailed on first down, incomplete. Brings
you.
up a 2nd and 10.
And our official sponsor of getting drinks and doing an excellent job on interviewing the MVPs of the games.
Well, the drink fetcher job was mine in games 1 and 2.
Which you were the MVP on that, by the way.
Thanks. I take full credit. So we're up to 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. We're going to throw again. Throw backwards again. That's Yang. And Yang still on his feet, getting around end, and finally pushed out of bounds.
Flag.
Cruz Cordova with the tackle there. Fortunate he didn't get flagged.
Yeah, I thought that was a little late on the sidelines. Julian Ayala out of North Oxnard getting over there to push him out of bounds. We thought there was a little extracurricular activity along with Kenny Cruz Cordova.
So it brings up about a 3rd and 8. Presley still in the gun. He's got Yang behind him, and he's going to throw towards the end zone.
Ooh.
Incomplete once again. Intended for Manti Marshall.
And it looks like our guy, Jaden Gray.
In the battle of 14s.
The battle of 14s. The funny thing is that was a good no call. He was in position. They got a little tangled up. In the pros, that probably would have been a pass interference, which obviously causes great consternation to me, because if Jerry Rice or Steve Young and Joe Montana and John Elway played under the rules that are playing now, they might have thrown for 50 yards. How can you give Tom Brady extra do-overs every other play? It's hard to play defense. It's tough enough. Look at Caden.
Well, Yang with a big gain there, but does he have enough on the 4th and 8 play? Do they move the chains? Now, it appears it wasn't enough in the West. We'll turn it around and play some offense with the lead. It's 8-6 West, 2:47 left in the first half. Also want to give major props to our crew today. Braving the rain. Victor Pansareff is down there on the jib camera, that camera on the stick that moves around that you probably see in a lot of shots. Bob McCall is also down on the field getting us great shots. Rick Nyberg up here in the booth with us getting us shots from on high. We mentioned Nate Watzka is our field reporter and all-around utility infielder, if I can use a baseball metaphor in a football game.
And you can.
And Randy Rosenblum called the first 2 games for us. Mike Carlucci will call the last one. You're stuck with me for this one.
Oh.
Incomplete on first down.
And it's good to be. It's like, being stuck in traffic, but you have a great radio station on, so that gets you through. So it's great to be stuck with you, Jake.
Thanks. Your check's in the mail.
Thank you. Even if it wasn't, I'd still give you props.
Now, you mentioned a lot of the greats of the game, and you had to either play against them in NFL games or in practice. I'm guessing you had to defend Jerry Rice when he was at the peak of his powers.
Yes, I did. And, you see those NFL films in which he's catching 100 touchdowns on a bunch of DBs, and I played 10 games against him. And I was number 41. And see if you can see me in any of those touchdown catches. I'm like, I never went down, Ray. I never went down.
You dipped out of the picture at the right time?
Yes. Like when you commit a crime, you don't stay at the crime scene. But, no, I didn't give up a touchdown to Jerry Rice. That's one of my claims to fame. But it was great going against Jerry, John Taylor, Flipper Anderson. So I used to say, like, in the NFC West, these are the guys that I had to defend twice a year. Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellert, the greatest route runner in the NFL. Jerry Rice, that's for the Rams. Jerry Rice and John Taylor at the Niners. And then it was Andre Rison, who could have been the greatest receiver ever. He was unbelievable.
I worked with Andre, and he is a charming but tortured soul.
Yes, well, he's special. He's special. I love Andre Rison. Played basketball for Michigan State. A phenomenal athlete. And they also had Mike Haynes in Atlanta. And at the time, Chris Carter and Art Monk, a lot of good receivers in the league, as there are now. But the rules are a little bit different. There's no question what the yardage and the records would look like if the players that when we played were allowed to participate under these rules.
My best Andre Rison story, I went to the northern tip of Alaska, Barrow, Alaska, with Andre and 6 other NFL players and coaches to put on a clinic for Eskimo kids, Native American kids, and Andre was one of 3 guys who jumped in the Arctic Ocean.
That would be Andre. Oh!
Incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 49. That's Michael Ramirez, who's going to be seeing that in his sleep. Almost had that one to take it back to the house. Nicely defended by Ramirez, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 11. Now, back to Rison. Rison wasn't the only guy to jump in the ocean. It was also Blair Thomas, if you remember him.
The running back.
From Penn State and the New York Jets, had a short-lived pro career because of injuries.
And who was the third?
A relative unknown named Matt Blaska, who was kind of our organizer and fixer facilitator.
I was about to say Ralph Tam wasn't involved in that. Ralphie Tam. I'm trying to think if there was a couple. John Pay was another guy that I played with at Stanford that did the Alaska trips.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Still the most interesting and weirdest story I've ever done in my long career in broadcasting. Probably spent 4 days there at the top of the world. Flew out of L.A. I think I took 5 planes, 13 hours of flying, and changed 1 time zone. Which you don't think about that because when you fly a long way, you think you're changing a lot of time zones. Plus, when we went up there, we were supposed to surprise the football players in the auditorium, and so we had to stay out of sight for a day. And in a little town like that, you can't really stay out of sight because it's 5,000 people, everybody knows each other, and they see some of these enormous guys who were football players, like Irv Eatman. If you remember him from UCLA and 14 years in the league, the guy's 6'8".
Or you could say, if you see black people, big black people,
you can't rule that out either.
You can't. It's hard to miss Irv Eatman and Andre Rison.
Well,
but that had to be fun.
It was awesome. All right, bombs away on 4th down.
Oh!
Almost.
What a throw.
All right, so Dylan had a chance at that, well defended over there by 2 guys, and that'll mean that the East gets it on downs. Gutty call by the West squad going for it on 4th and 11 deep in their own territory, and that tees up the East squad nicely. They take over at the 18-yard line right before halftime. 54 seconds left in the first half, and the East tries to take the lead before we go to intermission.
I don't think you could throw that ball any better. And at night when Isaiah goes to sleep, he's going to be dreaming about that one too. What a perfect throw by the quarterback.
Well, he was in double coverage. And we're going to throw on 1st down.
Uh-oh, this looks good.
Out in the flat to Jamari Smith, and Smith trying to get to the end zone, but guys in the white shirts won't let him. He's close to a 1st down, but it looks like it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Wow, that was pretty aggressive for 4th down play from right there. They went with the Jake Downey All-Star.
And we've got a timeout. The East wants to talk it over. They also want to stop the clock, so they have a chance of getting it in the end zone before we have a break. So to reset, 31 seconds left in the first half. The West in the white jerseys leads the East in the aqua, blue, green Miami Dolphins dark jerseys 8-6. The East is knocking on the door. 2nd and 2 at the 8. Last ad about Irv Eatman and that crazy trip to Alaska in 2008. We couldn't stay in a hotel because every hotel in town was full with scientists studying global warming. And then they lost Irv's luggage, so he was stuck in his white velour sweatsuit until I loaned him some clothes, even though I'm not nearly as tall as him. And part of the story I did about this, he said he was going to go out and beat up a polar bear, punch him in the face, and take his outfit.
Well, I have 2 stories. One, there is global warming. That's a question. I'm just kidding. and number 2, I don't know if I would want to be the person that loses Irv Eatman's suitcase.
No. All right, so Jackson Presley in the gun, looking over at the sidelines, flanked by Caleb Yang. And the East trying to take the lead here, and they give it to Yang.
Yeah.
Yang with all sorts of space to walk right down Main Street and into the promised land. He's got a touchdown, and the East has the lead. It's 12-8 with 26 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Simon's going to want to take back that fourth down play. Even though it was open, he dropped the ball, and he gave the ball to the East right there, right? That was a turnover and downs on that long bomb.
Well, I'll choose to say that Mr. Simon had double coverage on him, and that might not have been as easy and obvious a catch as it looked from here.
But you still have to punt the ball, I think, in that situation. But I understand the all-star theory.
All right, so the East is going to go for the deuce.
Oh.
And there's Yang, a little trickeration.
Oh, what a tackle.
But nothing doing there. He is brought down, and the conversion is no good.
That might have been, especially when you consider that it's Caleb Yang. Oh, Devin Omonde.
Of the North Oxnard Warriors chapter. He's got the big ponytail blocking his number. We couldn't really ID him.
Well, and I would assume that his dad is Nick.
That would make perfect sense.
So the over-under on making that tackle on Caleb Yang in the open field is very small. So a tremendous play by Omonde.
Big-time tackle by Omonde. We'll see if it matters. But he had to know that if he didn't make that play, nobody was coming to help him out, which does heighten your focus.
I think it was a great tackle, especially on that kid.
So we've got another kickoff. The East has been pretty consistent about trying an onside kick every time. And that's Masao Ruffner with a deep kick this time. And the West is going to start their possession at about the 46-yard line with 20 seconds left in the first half. We'll see if they want to run a play or if they're going to take a knee and regroup. So we're going to pass. Over the middle.
Oh, nice play.
And incomplete. Simultaneous hit there by David Aragon. Aragon forces that incompletion.
Excellent play on what I consider the Whites' best player, David Aragon, going through the receiver, legal, attacking the ball. It's smart. He's playing deep, and he's cheating over to that side, so you're going to have to find someone else.
So 13 seconds left. And again, deep ball. And it's going to be picked off, but there's a flag on the play. The East still has possession and finally corralled at about the 45. So the pick by Aragon as we wait on the call. Looks like the call is against the West, so it does mean that the East, with 2 seconds left, has one play.
Oh, wow. Nice call.
So if the East has a timeout, they can run a play. They wound the clock down to 0, so the scoreboard does say 0. Does the East want to use a timeout and try a Hail Mary, or do we have a halftime?
And that will be the end of the first half.
And so now, as we hear from public address announcer Isaac Reyes tells us that it is the end of the first half, and we've got a 10-minute halftime. Okay, we'll be back after a break. This is the PYFL Junior All-Star Game here on jdmediagroup.com and YouTube. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you for the third quarter.